Have you ever found yourself completely unable to stop thinking about that one person? You know the feeling. It's like there's a magnetic pull that just won't let go. It almost feels magical, as if some invisible force is making you obsess over them. But here's the twist. It's not magic at all. The truth is, your brain is running a highly sophisticated and secret algorithm, carefully analyzing and determining who you're likely to fall for. And believe me, the process behind it is way stranger and far more fascinating than you could ever imagine. Now, let's get one thing straight. The phenomenon of attraction starts and ends in your brain. Everything from the way you feel the butterflies to the deep emotional connections you form has its roots in neuroscience. In fact, scientists have discovered that three main systems are at work when it comes to attraction: lust, attraction, and attachment. Think of it like your brain is running its own reality dating show, complete with its own set of rules, hormones, and hidden signals. It's a complicated, finely tuned system that's more in control of your emotions than you may realize. And what's even more surprising is how these systems can play out in unexpected ways, making attraction not just a simple matter of chemistry, but a complex dance of biology, psychology, and evolution. The first stage is lust, and it's driven by powerful hormones like testosterone and estrogen. It's like your brain is giving you a little nudge, whispering, "Go find someone." Lust is primal and intense, a natural urge that pushes you to seek out physical connection. Once that spark is ignited, attraction takes over. This is where the real emotional ride begins. You start to feel the butterflies in your stomach, the constant daydreaming, and the growing obsession. This is the stage where your brain floods with dopamine, the feel-good chemical that makes you feel euphoric, as if you're floating on a high. It's like you've been given a hit of happiness every time you think about that person. Then, as things progress, attachment steps in. This is the deeper, longer-lasting bond that forms over time, fueled by hormones like oxytocin and vasopressin, which strengthen the emotional tie between two people. Attachment is what helps relationships evolve from fleeting infatuation into lasting love. Now, here's where it gets really fascinating. These systems can either work together, creating a well-rounded, powerful attraction, or operate independently of each other. That's why you can feel intense lust for one person, attraction for another, and yet form a deeper attachment to someone else entirely. Your brain isn't following a simple script. It's navigating a complex web of desires, emotions, and connections, often leading to surprising and unpredictable outcomes. So, what is it that makes your brain choose that specific person? Is it their smile, their laugh, their confidence? Well, yes and no. The truth is, there's a lot more happening beneath the surface than you might realize. Ever notice that you're often drawn to people you see frequently? It's not just coincidence, it's called the mere exposure effect. Your brain naturally gravitates toward what it recognizes, which is why people you encounter regularly, like childhood friends or co-workers, can suddenly seem more attractive or become crush material. But here's the kicker. It's not just about the person themselves. It's your brain playing tricks on you. This effect works because our brains feel more comfortable and at ease with familiarity. Research has shown that we're often attracted to traits that feel familiar or comforting, even if we aren't consciously aware of it. You might find yourself liking someone simply because they remind you of someone else from your past, or even because they fit certain patterns that your brain has learned to associate with safety or comfort. So, when you think you're just falling for someone, it could actually be your brain's way of seeking out something familiar, something it feels it can trust, even if you don't realize it's happening. For example, many people end up choosing partners who remind them of their parents. It might sound strange at first, but it's not about physical appearance. It's about behaviors, mannerisms, or even emotional patterns we've grown up with. Your brain is wired to look for what it knows, what it feels comfortable with, and sometimes that means seeking out traits you've seen before in your caregivers or family members. Your brain is also constantly searching for signs of health and good genes, often without you realizing it. Things like facial symmetry, clear skin, and good posture send subtle signals to your brain. indicating that someone might be physically fit or genetically strong. This is what psychologists refer to as evolutionary attraction, your brain's way of evaluating potential mates based on unconscious survival instincts. It's not about consciously thinking, this person is attractive because they look good. It's about your brain saying, this person might be a good partner for the future, someone with the traits that could help create a healthy family. So, while you may think you're simply attracted to someone's smile or looks, your brain is silently assessing their suitability for survival, both emotionally and genetically. Now, let's dive into the chemistry behind it all. When you're crushing hard on someone, your brain releases a cocktail of powerful chemicals that completely mess with your emotions and make you feel all sorts of things. The main player in this chemical love game is dopamine. This is the same feel-good chemical that gets released when you eat your favorite food, win a game, or achieve a goal. Dopamine makes you feel rewarded and euphoric, and when you think about your crush, it floods your brain with that same rush of happiness. That's why you can't stop replaying moments with them, cherishing every little interaction like it's a precious memory. But that's not all. There's also norepinephrine, which keeps you on edge and makes your heart race. It's the reason your palms might start to sweat when you see them, or why your breath feels a little quicker when they're near. You know that feeling of butterflies in your stomach, that tingly excitement? That's norepinephrine at work, pushing your body into a state of high alert, almost as if you're the star of your own romantic comedy. It's like your brain is telling your body, this moment is important, pay attention. So every glance, every word feels charged with this electric energy that makes falling for someone feel so thrilling and, at times, overwhelming. Lastly, serotonin levels actually drop when you're falling for someone. This decrease in serotonin is what explains the obsessive thoughts that seem to take over your mind. Your brain is literally prioritizing thoughts of your crush above everything else, making it almost impossible to focus on anything else. It's like your brain becomes fixated on that person, replaying every interaction and imagining every possible future scenario. No wonder falling for someone can feel like an addiction, because in a way, it actually is. You crave that emotional connection and the rush of thoughts and feelings that come with it, just like any other type of addiction. But here's where science hits a wall. Attraction isn't just biology or chemistry, it's also deeply personal, unique, and unpredictable. Psychologists call it the X factor. This is the mysterious, intangible part of attraction that can't always be explained by science. Sometimes you simply click with someone, and despite all the research, even the experts can't fully explain why. It's as if two people's personalities, energies, and histories align in such a way that makes them feel irresistibly drawn to each other. That's the X factor at work, something beyond biology, beyond attraction, that turns a simple connection into something much deeper. Take the famous case of Marilyn Monroe and Arthur Miller. Marilyn, the quintessential Hollywood bombshell, and Arthur, the reserved intellectual playwright, seemed like complete opposites. Yet, despite their differences, they fell deeply in love. So why did this unlikely pairing work? Maybe Marilyn was drawn to Arthur's intellect and the way he saw the world, while Arthur found himself captivated by the depth of Marilyn's character beneath her glamorous exterior. This is a perfect example of the X factor in action. It shows that beyond the chemicals and biological processes at play, there's something deeper and more personal happening. Your unique experiences, values, and emotions, things that can't be easily measured or predicted, shape who you're drawn to and why you form strong connections with certain people. Attraction isn't just about physical appearance or the chemicals in your brain, it's also about the intangible qualities that make two people click in a way that defies logic or science. This deep, inexplicable bond is what turns a fleeting attraction into something more meaningful. Attraction isn't all about appearances. While physical looks may initially catch your attention, it's often personality traits like kindness, humor, and confidence that truly seal the deal. These qualities are what create lasting emotional bonds. In fact, studies have shown that the more time you spend with someone, the stronger your attraction to them can become, even if you didn't find them particularly appealing at first. This is known as the slow burn effect, and it proves that emotional connections can actually rewire your brain's perception of someone. Over time, you may begin to see someone in a completely new light as shared experiences and deeper conversations replace surface level attraction with something far more meaningful. So next time you catch yourself daydreaming about your crush or wondering why you're so drawn to them, remember, it's not all magic. Your brain is the one behind the curtain, pulling the strings and orchestrating everything. The chemistry, the emotions, and even that elusive X factor, it's all a fascinating mix of biology, psychology, and personal experiences that makes love both exciting and complicated. But here's the most important takeaway. While attraction may begin in your brain, the relationships you build are up to you. What truly matters isn't just who your brain picks out, but how you connect, grow, and understand each other over time. Relationships are about more than just initial attraction. They're about the bonds you build and nurture together as you share your lives.